Hey everyone, we're up here in the beautiful Golan Heights, and the truth is that we don't have to be in the Golan Heights for this video. We can really do this just about anywhere in Eretz Yisrael, because the plant that I'm about to show you, an amazing plant, grows just about all over. You'll find it here, of course, in the Golan. You'll find it when you're walking in the middle of Yerushalayim. You'll find it even in the desert, specifically mainly in riverbeds, or where there's a high water table. And this is the salaf, also known as the caper. So if you've ever had a like pickled capers, so that's these guys. I'll show you what part that is. But it's also just a nice looking flower. This is interesting. I don't know if you can see it well. Maybe this one. Okay. And perhaps one of the most famous places that it grows that people don't recognize it is right out of the kotel, because this is one of those plants that grows out of the kotel. It basically it melts away rock, and it can grow basically out of anything, even just out of the rock itself. And that's one of the reasons why Am Yisrael is actually compared to this plant, among other things, because Chazal say that there are three me'izin, brazen ones in the world, and it talks about from the animal kingdom and from the plant kingdom. And this is one of those from the plant kingdoms. And of course the third is among the nations, and that's Am Yisrael among the nations. Okay, it's kind of like this holy chutzpah. Okay, there's the bad kind of chutzpah, where we speak disrespectfully where we shouldn't, or hopefully we don't do that. And then there's the good kind of chutzpah, and that's the chutzpah to survive against all odds, even when it would seem to be that it just doesn't make sense. Okay, and this guy is that kind of thing. Okay, that it can survive basically even in harsh conditions, even where it seems that it's just growing right out of the rock itself. It's also mentioned a lot in Tanach and Chazal, specifically Chazal, and we'll get back to that in a moment. We're here with the caper, the salaf. The part that we eat are these unopened little flower buds, nitzanim. See if we can make that a little clearer. Not really. Okay. And the way that it works is as follows. This flower opened up last night, or yesterday, very late in the afternoon. Okay. And it's already beginning to wilt a little bit. By midday today, this thing is going to be looking pretty dead. It'll look kind of like this one over here from yesterday. Okay. Close to the one next to it, which is nice and open. That's yesterday's flower versus today's flower. Okay, meaning it's the one that today's flower is the one that opened late yesterday. Okay, and yesterday's flower is the one that opened late the day before. And here you can see what one looks like. I don't know if this is yesterday's. It's probably from the day before yesterday. This one, okay, really pretty dead, but that means that, first of all, that could be tomorrow's flower, the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Each day one flower opens. And when a flower opens, it's not for no reason. When I came by here, they left, I guess, because I'm here. But there were bees that were coming around this plant. Bees are good, okay? They're not bad. We want bees because they help pollinate the plant. They go from flower to flower. And if you look closely here, we have a fruit. Okay, it's actually just the middle of the flower, the stamen, and if it's pollinated, so then it can be turned into a fruit. It can grow into a fruit. Okay, so if it's pollinated, the plants, then this part in the middle grows into a fruit. This is actually very small. Usually the more further in you go in, oh, there you go, actually. Okay, so look, ready for this? Nitzanim, the unopened flowers. Flower of today, which opened yesterday. Flower before that, okay, opened either yesterday, meaning 2 days ago, or the day before that. Here you already have a tiny little fruit. Okay, again, yesterday, as you can see, is starting to grow fruit. This is already a tiny little fruit, and if you follow it in a little further, you have to be careful for the thorns that you have here. This is a little fruit. Okay, Again, this isn't the part that we eat today, although in the times of Chazal and antiquity, they would eat this. They would pickle this and eat it. They would pickle the nitzanim, like we have the unopened flowers, and eat it. And even the very end, the soft leaves at the end would also be eaten. You have different parts, and the truth is that they ask about what bracha it is. It comes up in Masechet Brachot, and it depends what part of it you're eating. If you're eating the fruit, so then it's one bracha, but if you're eating the flower buds, well, that's not the fruit of the plant, so then it's a different bracha. It comes up in Chazal, in a really cool midrash, one of the ones that I guess I quote most often, and that's this rabbi is teaching that in the times to come, fruit trees will bear fruit every single day. And this one Talmud speaks of a real mechutzaf, the bad kind of chutzpah, and he says, "But Rabbi, doesn't it say ein chadash tachat hashamish? There's nothing new under the sun. So how can you say there's gonna be something new?" And so what does the rabbi do? He doesn't kick him out of the Beit Midrash. He goes out with him from the Beit Midrash, and they go on a teal. They go hiking. Okay, this is classic, right? Going out to learn Torah from nature. That's what we do, right? So they go out to nature, and he shows him a tzalaf. He shows him this plant. And he says, just like this plant can bear fruit every single day, right? It has the potential for fruit every day, like we said, the nitzanim, the flowers into the fruit. So too, in the times to come, fruit trees will bear fruit every day. So it's not chadash. Pretty cool, right? So that's one of those magicians that really, that's what I do. That's my life. Going out, learning from the land itself. This is also the symbol of a place called Naot Kedumim. Amazing, really, really cool place. Really brings tons of psukim to life through nature, through the daily life, nature and agriculture, the daily life of people in times of Tanach and Chazal. And I actually have a special tour coming up right there. So details on that coming up soon. One of the properties of the tzalaf, the caper, is that it's very good for kindling. Not necessarily in this stage right now, but for most of the year, it can be very good for kindling. To the point where Chazal actually say that the mikoshesh in the desert, the one who gathered kindling, this is what he was gathering. Now again, keep in mind, this actually, even though I'm right now in the Golan, this grows all over Eretz Yisrael, and it grows in the desert as well. Again, mainly in riverbeds, and it was used for kindling. So that actually fits. But there's another part to it, and this is really pretty cool. Now again, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'm gonna try to get close to these thorns to show you without actually poking myself. Okay, it has some pretty serious thorns on it. You put your hands in, you're likely to get poked with these thorns, these yellow things that you can kind of see. Okay, and Chazal teach us that who was the Mekoshesh, who was the one who gathered this kindling? Tzlaf Chad, the one who died in the desert, and his daughters end up requesting a nachala and getting a nachala, a inheritance in the land. Okay, so Tzlaf Chad, again we're looking at the tzalaf, or caper, right? Tzalaf, Chad. Chad means sharp, okay? Meaning, just like these thorns are very sharp. So it's these sharp capers. That's perhaps what Chazal is teaching us, that the Mikoshesh was gathering. Okay, and again, it is used for kindling. There's a beautiful midrash that this guy later on had a hole in his fence. Okay, I'm standing by a barbed wire fence here. You can see that's protecting this area in the Golan, in Keshet. See these spikes, barbed wire fence, and so this guy had a fence, and the fence ended up getting a hole in it. And he wanted to fix it, but it was Shabbos, so he decided he's not going to do it because he didn't want to break Shabbos to fix his fence. And when he comes out Motzei Shabbos, he finds that in the place of the hole, where perhaps someone could have come in and broken in and stolen from his crops, or animals could have come in as well, in its place grew a tzalaf. In essence, it was protecting that opening, And it was also a good source of income because he could sell its fruits and the different parts of it that are edible. And Chazal say, who was this person? He was the Gilgul. He was a reincarnation of Tzlaf Chad, which is pretty cool. Okay, so in essence, in that case, it basically goes full circle. Okay, because we have Tzlaf Chad as the Mekoshesh, the one who did not follow the laws of Shabbos. He broke Shabbos to gather kindling from this plant, the tzalaf, the caper, and then he comes back and he keeps Shabbos, and that's how he's rewarded with the tzalaf growing. I hope that you liked this video, and I hope that you learned from it. I hope that you were able to gain from it. It's really, really cool to be able to just go around Eretz Yisrael. Anywhere you go, you have these plants coming around. Again, we talked about the tzalaf, but the caper, but really, you can see this plant all over Eretz Yisrael now. I hope that you're going to see it as you're just walking around wherever you are here, which is really cool. It blooms for months. Very, very. It's also just a beautiful plant, but it's also fascinating, and it brings the messages of our heritage to life, messages of the Torah to life. And again, you can do this with so many different plants and places around Eretz Yisrael. And we have a special tour coming up to Ne'ot Kedumim, a place that really goes into each plant has its own story, its own mishalim that come to life, and it's an opportunity to come and really get to know the land and its messages. And I hope that you'll join us. Okay, so details are in the next video.